Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish, and welcome to the Artist Haven, where home plus art equals heart. In today's live video broadcast, it is, well, I can't say coffee with Tish and Clara because Clara doesn't drink coffee, so learn with us today because I brought in my pal, Miss Clara Lawrence. Hello, Clara.
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing?
Pretty good. You picking on me about my
Pretty
coffee?
good. Well, and a lot of people don't like coffee. A lot of people are tea drinkers or soda drinkers. And, as long as you got some kind of go-go juice in the morning,
Go-go juice.
everybody needs some go-go juice in the morning. Even if,
You know-
I know someone who drinks like a big like glass of ice water with lemon in it, and that's their go-go juice. And that, hey, if it works for them, go for it.
Yeah,
I'd be
no kidding.
peeing. I'd be peeing 18 times a day if I drink as much water as this person drinks.
You know,
But
if there isn't a product named Go-Go Juice, they are missing out.
I know.
That is like the perfect name.
We should do that. We should come up with a B vitamin like type soda thing, something that tastes really good, and call it go-go juice. There we go.
Have all the plant zippers in there. Yeah.
So today we are going to be putting fabric on tumblers. Clara is going to be showing you kind of the second step, and I'm going to be showing you two versions of the first step. So you're going to get kind of a simultaneous thing. And then next week we will show you our results. Actually, no, not next week, the week after, because next
week you got a vacation.
Yes, we're on vacation from live streaming. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick my tumbler that I did last week. And I don't know if you can see it, but it got these massive fish eyes on it. So this is not because I did it wrong. I sealed it. I did all the things. I let it cure. I let the clear sealer cure for like, I don't know, it was like overnight. So it shouldn't have done this. So I believe it's the resin. And I've been mixing resin for a while. I know how to measure. I am a baker. So, I know how to do that. But I've had this problem before with this resin, but not this bad. It's like, holy Hannah. But so I'm just going to sand it down, get some of the lumps and bumps out of it, and then I'm going to cover it with stone coat. I'm going to go back to my old standby stone coat art coat. So I was using the Unicone resin, which I'm not impressed with at all.
That's kind of a hot mess. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happened on the other one too. So it's not just this tumbler, it was both.
That's kind of frustrating.
It was very frustrating. I almost started crying. In fact, I did start crying. I have to be honest. I started crying hardcore.
Okay, so Tish, I got to share this with you. So when you were talking about the go-go juice, Lynn's also in the chat, but she says that I have resurrection fluid. I think that's hysterical. So
that's even better.
So hi, Lynn. Melissa's in the chat as well as Janice. And Doris is in there. Yeah.
And Doris, good morning. Good morning. So, yeah, for whatever reason, I have my phone set up, and for whatever reason, the chat got all wonky. So, I had another mishap this morning as well. I went to open, I have this Mod Podge furniture, which they don't sell anymore, and I'm really sad about it because it's actually a very awesome product. But you can see how old it is and how long I've had it. It's all crusty. But in the move, it must have gotten tipped upside down or something because there's this whole like chunk at the top of this. So I stuck that was all like dried and kind of pasty and I don't know. So I took the stick and I just stabbed it and cleaned it out. So the bottom is just fine. It's just this top part is kind of goopy. So that's the story of my life. Things are just, the way they are. So I'm using for one of the tumblers that I'm going to be doing are pencil cups because I'm not going to sell. If they turn out, I'm not going to sell them as coffee cups.
Drinking cups.
Yeah, because you can't. I mean, they do come with a lid. I got these from the dollar store.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if I do sell them, maybe I'll give them as gifts. I'll just give them as a pencil cup, you know. But we're going to be using this product. It's kind of like tack it over and over again.
Yep.
It,
Kind of
it's
like a
called,
rubber cement where you apply it and let it dry and it's sticky.
yep, it's called foil. It's actually for foils. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get some of this off of there.
Oh, I use
I'm
that
trying to,
over at Rhonda's place. It is super sticky. It's great stuff.
yeah. Rhonda and Jennifer are friends as far as I know. I don't know that they had a falling out or anything. I don't pay attention to that. But I know at one time they were friends. So
Yeah.
um, they probably still are because Jennifer's awesome and so is Rhonda. And so this has got a big gloop in
So
it.
I'm gonna jump in and talk about stuff. So I use on my cups here. I use the basic. Okay, I've got a ton of quilters cotton, which is slightly heavier than the basic cotton you see in a lot of fabric stores and such.
Right.
And it doesn't have a whole lot of give to it. It does have a diagonal give, but you are gonna, if you get cotton like this or something that is, very tough like that, and you put it on your cup, you will get wrinkles. It is part of the thing. I'm not worried about it. I'm also going to be using glitter and other things on here, but I
Right.
just want to forewarn you. The jersey or the fabrics that have a little bit more stretch to it, kind of like a t-shirt fabric. I don't know if you
Right.
want to do t-shirt fabric or not, but especially with cups that have a tapered bottom to it, it'll fit around your cup a lot better and you won't have a lot of this going on.
You won't have to
So,
argue with it.
yeah, you could go, oh, yeah, I'm going to make you. And we're going to smooth out. So,
If all else fails, force it. That is
yeah.
my motto.
And I covered my one cup with fabric. I layered up Mod Podge on the cup first, put the fabric
Right.
on top, smoothed it out. Real good. My flap here, I just put in, a good chunk of extra Mod Podge, had it lay over, and then just added some Mod Podge over the top of the whole thing, put it to the side, let it dry. So that's what this stage is at.
Yeah, she's on stage 2. I'm on stage 1. I'm going to do this foil adhesive first because
Mm-hmm.
it takes a minute for it to dry. Um, I'm trying really hard not to go over what I went over before, but glitter is not my friend today, apparently.
Uh-oh. Why is that?
Yeah, because it wants to go on this cup where the adhesive's at.
Oh, so it's being like a kitty cat. Hey, wait a minute. I need attention too.
Yeah.
Lay on your newspaper and things like that, or
Yeah.
your computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Rhea was in rare form this morning. Speaking of kitties,
uh-huh.
well, I cleaned her cat box this morning because I finally got some cat litter yesterday, and she's like all just like purring and rubbing my legs and like, thank you, Mama, for cleaning out my cat box. She's never like that.
Does she go into it immediately and leave a deposit? It's like, okay,
Yes.
mine. Yeah.
Yep. She marks her territory. But
Yeah.
she's funny because she's not like that unless she wants something. She's very aloof and very, very just cat-like. And I'm good with that, because cat but she's also one of those ones, if you're not feeling very good
She's a
and
buddy.
she's like right on top of you purring, hey mama, feel better, I love you, kind of thing.
Comfort weight.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's very much attuned to me. But normally she just attacks Michael's feet and my feet and I'm trying to decide if I'm not going to put fabric on the bottom. I think
I
I'll
was
just
debating
leave.
on that. I did leave a little extra on the bottom so I could do that. And I usually stick that little sticker on the bottom of my cups anyway, so I'm not worried about it
Yeah,
having the little
I
thing.
think I'm just.
Otherwise, I would cut a circle and adhere that to the bottom too. Oh,
Well, it's
we'll do this
got kind
off
of a
camera.
divot. It's got kind of a divot, and it's got this little like spoke. I don't know how to there's like a little pointy piece. I don't know what to call it, but it's from molding it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it like on this top rim, like that. There we go. So this needs to dry at least 15 minutes.
I might cut off some.
So I'm going to do the other stuff. And the only thing I think the reason why this may not work as well as I think it will is because I don't think this stuff is repositionable. I don't know. I've never used it for this kind of application. I've only used it for foil, and once foil's down, foil's down. There's no repositioning it.
I think you're gonna run into that. I have a feeling.
So I'm gonna put this over there. Oh, awesome! Someone just joined the Artist Haven tribe. Someone just subscribed. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thomas Roberts.
Well, thank you, Thomas Roberts. Okay, I need a map. I'm just going to use this thin brush.
As you guys know, I put everything in these little bottles, including my Mod Podge. It just makes life easier. If I don't do that, I ended up pouring it into like a little bowl or something, and dip into it with my brush. So this way, I'm just by stepping a step here.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. That's why when I mix my paints, I put it in a bottle, because I go through so much paint, so quickly that it's just easier to put it to mix up a big batch and just put it in a bottle. And, I'll be honest with y'all. I have paint in a bottle that I've had paint in that same bottle like for a year. It's not the same paint. I've just been using the same bottle. I wash out the tip, the little, like this part. I'll wash this part out, but the rest of the bottle, unless it's really, really chunky in there for whatever reason, I don't worry about it. All right, that's good. Oh, let's see. I'm just going to leave this here.
Big sigh.
I don't know what my deal is. I need to wake up. Come on, Tish. You can do this. Okay, you can do it, Ozzy. All right, so I'm gonna grab another. I just got a bunch of foam brushes at the dollar store yesterday. It is not my normal way of buying foam brushes because it's actually more expensive to buy them like that.
Really?
Yeah, because I usually get the 2-inch brushes. I get them at Menards.
Mm-hmm.
And you can buy, I think it's 25 for $10 or something, or maybe it's 15 now. Of the 2-inch brushes, because that's really all I use. I mean, I do use these little ones sometimes, but the big ones, I never use them for anything. It's like, so it's wasteful for me, and that's why I don't think it's as good of a deal. Okay, so this is a matte finish Mod Podge, and we're gonna do this. I've got 2 different kinds of fabric. I've got this, which is a fat quarter. I'll show you the little. This is 100% cotton. It's a fabric quarter that I bought on clearance because clearance is awesome.
That'd be my brother.
but it's very cool, and I like this pattern. I did not press it because I don't have my little ironing board anymore. But it's got Paris on it, the Eiffel Tower, and it says Paris Eiffel Tower, and it's just got some French writing in the background, and it's really cool. So we're going to do that on one of these, on this one. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this. Wait, where'd my brush go? There's the other brush. Okay. So I did not cut. Maybe I should, hang on. I got to get a little bit more organized here. So I'm just going to take the fabric and kind of figure out about where I need it. And my fabric scissors, of course, are on the other side of the room. So we're just going to use these because these are what I use to cut my, what is it called? Press and seal. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put it around like this. And give it a little bit of an overhang.
So when you do a lot of fabric on your tumbler and you're going to do resin eventually, you need to seal the fabric in. Otherwise, the resin gets into the fibers and makes it look like it's like, I've heard terms oil slick or like the fabric's wet, you know, that kind of a look to it. Whereas, you know, the Mod Podge will dry clear and it'll look like the fabric again, like originally.
Right.
But the resin will not because it penetrates the fibers. Right. I'm just trying to smush the Mod Podge into all the crevices is what I'm trying to do here.
Smush. Smush. Okay, get this out of my way. There we go. Okay. This is one time when having an extra set of hands would be nice, but it is what it is. I should have planned that a little bit better, but oh well.
Need some help? I'll come over and help.
Yeah, just hop in your transporter and come on over. Okay.
I like these little arms that, you know, screw in, meaning that uses the PVC, you know, connectors and stuff. Too. But put them into the stands, it's like, doesn't seem to ever want to thread in. It's like, come on. Okay. So this one here, all right, I'm going to get a really sharp knife so I can trim it. And I want to trim it just like the edge is right there, so I want to come in just a little bit so that way resin has somewhere to grip on the edge there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do a glitter top on these so it'll hide any mishaps as far as cutting. I'm just folding it over so I can see my edge.
Okay. Actually, Jeff B has joined us. Hello, Jeff B. And also Doris is asking, which Mod Podge are you using, Clara, matte or gloss?
This one.
This one, she says. Which is what? Yeah, I can't see.
It's the dishwasher safe gloss. It's just what I happen to have on hand.
Okay. Now mine's a matte. They don't make the furniture matte anymore, which makes me sad. Because that's my true love right there. Well, that and baking, but there's no money in baking. There is lots of crying, though.
Lots of crying in baking? What?
Oh yeah, when you do something and it looks awesome, you cry. When it doesn't turn out, you cry.
Okay.
When you nail a recipe, you know, you make adjustments to a recipe, and it works the first time. You're like, yes. All right, so I'm just going to lay this down. And I'm going to I'm just using my hand to smooth it. And I'm going to see if my little fondant trick will work. So we're going to be...
The fondant trick? What, did you get a spreader?
No, it's just... there's a trick to cutting fondant. You lay down both edges, and then you take a blade and you cut a straight line, and then when
you peel the bottom part off.
Yeah, and then you peel the scraps off, and it gives you a perfect line.
Okay.
So that's what we're gonna do with this cup. So The pattern's not going to match perfectly, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, if you have a fabric that has a pattern to it, let's say it has flowers, and you want it to be seamless, what you can do is you could take a like just do a mock wraparound, like put one in there, kind of mock it around, mark it with like a fabric marker, like an erasable, like the Crayola markers that are erasable.
Yep.
You can mark where it overlaps, unwrap the whole thing, and then you lay it down, and that part that you marked it, you know, from that point on is your overlap, and you can cut. Let me back it up. Don't cut. Do Mod Podge on the front and on the back, let it dry, and then you can cut anywhere on the fabric your flowers shapes on that, remove that, and then when you wrap it around, you'll have that design to wrap and be your flap, and it'll just meld in with the rest of the fabric. Hopefully that made sense.
Yes, it makes sense. I know
Okay,
what you're
good.
saying.
I
Okay.
always like teach with my hands, so I've got issues.
Yes. Okay. No, you don't. I do the same thing. I talk with my hands. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to lay down a layer of Mod Podge here, just like this, because I want it to stay in place. Okay. And then I'm going to flip this over. Okay. I'm trying to like show it. And so then I'm going to flip this over and I'm just going to lay it down, make sure there's no bubbles in it. And then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, put this in here. Maybe it'll hold it for me.
Fresh
Like I
knife,
said.
blade, make sure it's sharp.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
I'm kind of concerned. I don't remember when I changed this blade, so we'll see if it cuts. If it doesn't cut, I'll go grab a different blade. Okay, righty tighty, lefty loosey, Tish. Jesus. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm just gonna draw the straightest line that I can. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my scissors and make sure that I cut all the way through there. And there we go. And then okay, use that. Okay, so I'm taking this first top piece off. Okay, that one's all sticky, so that one's garbage. Garbage.
Garbage?
Garbage. Okay, so then I'm going to peel this up.
Or should you
So
say lay garbage, since you're working with Paris fabric?
Yeah, lay garbage. Oh wow, there's not a lot of, and then I'm going to peel this scrap piece from underneath. It's just a little tiny piece, so I planned that out pretty darn good. And then I'm going to take and lay my seam down just like that. And there is a little spot that I missed on this edge, and that wasn't me. That wasn't my cut. That was my lining up part. So make sure that you line it up right. I'm working white on white, and I'm working far away. So all right, but that's a little piece, and I'm gonna I'm gonna end up glittering the bottom of this, so it's okay. And that's why we paint our that's why we paint our cups the colors that we want them to be.
Yes.
So, and I'm just going to take my knife here, and I'm going to there's a little lip on these cups, and I'm just going to put my knife here, and I'm just going to let it, well, maybe.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
Yeah, there we go.
And I've got a little bit of paint and primer that I sprayed into a cup that I'm just touching up the top part, and that's just me being careful for when the resin goes on to, if I don't put a good glitter coat, you know, I'm covered. And it looks intentional. I just got a cheapy brush so I don't hurt my good brushes.
Yeah, dollar store brushes are great for cheapy brushes. I bought a bunch. I bought a bunch of like just like kids brushes for like applying adhesives and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So this blade doesn't want to cut. I need to bring it over here so I can be a little bit more forceful. So I'm going to be off camera for a second because I'm using my boobs.
Okay. All right.
It's my
I got nothing. I got nothing.
well. Sometimes you just got to use them. They were there. They're there for a purpose.
That is true.
It's not just for
As I tell
catching
my
ketchup.
boys, they're not a shelf.
Sometimes they are.
Well, if I wish them to be a shelf, yes, but not for everybody else.
Yeah, no. No, you cannot store your soda there. Thanks. No, that is not a place for Matchbox cars. Okay. So I'm finding that if I run the backside of my blade up there first and just kind of get it in place, and then going back with the cutting edge, it seems to cut cleaner. Just a little on the fly tip from Tish.
Virginia says she can't see what you're doing.
I just said I'm going to move it off camera because I need to use my boobs.
All right.
I feel sorry, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I feel sorry for anybody who doesn't have boobs. I mean, I always used to complain that my boobs were too big and it's just too much. And now it's like I use them to like do a lot of things. So, all right. So there's that.
Uh-huh.
Ta-da!
Are you all happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
It's on there.
It's on there. And here, I'll show you the seam. So there's the seam. And yes, I know my patterns don't match, and I know it doesn't. There's an obvious seam, but I'm okay with that. Okay. So I'm going to cut this bottom off, but first I'm going to put.
I'm just getting rid of excess fabric on my little flaps.
Yeah. So when you're doing your seam too, and you're trying to do it the way I just did it, make sure that your seams are butt up against each other. And put a little layer of glue so they don't. So because fabric is gonna, especially cotton fabric, is gonna try and shrink. But if you have just that little bit of glue on there, just until the rest of the glue dries, it'll stay in place for the most part. I only know that because I used to decoupage a lot of weird stuff. So, oop, well, that's not my camera. Well, good morning, Jelly Duck. Actually, he's overseas, so it's not morning for him. It's like afternoon. So.
Oh, okay.
To get the bottom, I wonder if I. Hang on, I'm gonna try and do this a little bit. Okay.
It never gets old. I just get a kick out of it when it's like I'm talking with somebody who's like in Australia or Germany or something like that. It's like, you're watching me from across the world.
I know. It's still, yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. So for the bottom piece, on this one, I'm just going to cut the fabric because I'm going to glitter the bottom, and I'll probably glitter the top too. Cause I got some really cool, like, iridescent, or not iridescent, some black holographic glitter.
Mm-hmm.
So these are my Tim Holtz scissors. These are like ever sharp all the time. I love these scissors. They were expensive.
Mean suckers, huh?
These are awesome. I love these things. The other option you have as well, if you're working, especially if you're working with a metal tumbler and you don't want to put fabric on the bottom, you can always I know this is gonna sound weird, but I used to do this on wood and it worked for wood. So I would try it for a tumbler too. But I don't have any metal ones left. I gotta go raid the Goodwill store. But you can take it and put your Mod Podge on it, wrap it, or kind of cut it as close to the edge as you can, and then you can sand it off. If it's as long as it's cotton, don't try and do it with anything polyester, because you'll just melt the plastic. Because that's what polyester is plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I see blessed glitter. I'm gonna put another coat of Mod Podge on the top of all of this shenanigans right here. So there we go. I'm gonna get it in the little crick right there.
My fabric didn't stick together, so I'm trying to put more Mod Podge in there to get it to
Make it
stick.
stick.
Yeah.
If all else fails, force it, Clara. You know my motto.
I'm gonna work on that. Yeah, I would highly recommend a jersey fabric. That's crazy about all the wrinkles.
I don't have any wrinkles, but I don't know. Is yours is a skinny cup, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
No?
It's got a taper to it.
Okay.
So that's why. But I was using what I had on hand since I have a ridiculous amount of fabric from my quilting days.
Yes.
It would be kind of foolish of me to go buy fabric right now.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
use
why?
what you got. It may pose a challenge, but use what you got. That's what I'm doing. Because I don't have a Michael's or a Joann's here locally. I got to drive to the next town over to get to a Hobby Lobby. And if I want a Michael's or a Joann's, I got to drive all the way down to Paducah. And
well, you should be able to find fabric in Paducah.
oh yeah, Paducah's. I don't know. I've never gone past the mall. I've never. It's like I need to go explore Paducah. We need to go down there for like a whole weekend and just go exploring.
So there's a big quilt museum in Paducah, and I have a bunch of friends of mine that have quilts on permanent display there.
Shut up! There's a quilting museum there.
Oh yeah, Paducah is known as one of the big quilt shows. Like there's two of them, but one of them unfortunately went bankrupt with this whole COVID thing.
Oh,
And that was in Houston, and I used to go to that all the time with my mama. And Paducah was the next one.
well,
So,
golly jeepers!
I have a quilt that a friend of mine and I worked on together. That was the last quilt I did, and she was known for painting scenery on her quilts. And so she came over the last Houston quilt show and hung out with me at my studio for like a week for like 3 years in a row kind of thing.
Oh
And
wow!
we worked on a couple of quilts. And the last one we did was a pair of dragon riders, coming toward each other, kind of like doing almost a high five kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
that's
and
cool.
yeah, the sad part is that unfortunately she passed away last year. So that
No.
was literally the last quilt she did. So
Oh.
I can't put it in Houston anymore because Houston's not an option as far as in the competition. But
Well,
I'm
we're only
I'm
45
debating on
minutes.
putting it. Yeah, I'm debating
We're
on
only,
Paducah.
we're only 45 minutes from Paducah, so not that far.
That's true.
I just thought it'd be cool to do like, a weekend down there and stay like downtown Paducah and go to all the, go to a couple of good restaurants downtown. And that way we can both drink and have a good time and not have to drive home. Not have to drive, period.
Yeah.
So
All right.
this next week we're going to Indiana. I've never been to Indiana before, so it'll be fun. All right, that guy is all done. I just gotta wait for him to dry. So hang on, I'll show you. There's the seam. We'll start from the seam. And there's the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, that is cool fabric. I like the big
It's very
tower
fun
in there.
fabric.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fun. So I might do another one. I might do a couple because it turned out really good. I'm really impressed with myself. Yay, Tish!
Yeah, I'm impressed with you too.
Sarah has joined us, and golly, now I can't remember her name. Why is it eluding me? If it's any consolation, I couldn't remember my name when I woke up. Linda, there we go. Duh.
What was it? Did you say
Linda.
Linda? Linda. Okay.
Linda. Yes. I'm like, eh.
You said it so fast. It's like, did she say Blenda or Linda? What did she say exactly?
What'd she say? What did she say? Okay, is this stuff? Oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Okay. So this stuff is stretchy this way. But it's not the other way, so we're gonna do it this way. This is fabric that I've had for a long time. It's got little flecks of silver in it. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up.
I am thinking about trimming off the bottom of this one. It is not laying down nicely.
Well, beat it into submission.
I've been beating it. I've been beating it. It's just not behaving. It says I like the beatings.
I like it like that. That's what she said. Anyway, this fabric is the same fabric that I used on this binder that I built. And I just want to let y'all know that we're going to be building something like this on our members only live stream. So, but we're going to be using some other things. I'm going to show one of my ideas that I have to resurrect a painting that has a rip in it or has a part that you like, but a part you don't like, and it's got too much texture to put just to gesso over it. I had this idea, so we're going to be exploring not only the idea of with the canvas, but we're going to be exploring how to build your own binder. So if you're not already a member at Buy Me a Coffee or on YouTube at $10 or higher, I think it's $10. Or no, it's $14, $15 or higher. $14.99 here and $15 on Buy Me a Coffee. Because Buy Me a Coffee, you have to have round numbers. So those will get you in. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay this down this time. Because I was having too much of an issue.
I'm done. I can't do any more. This got dry. Shoot.
Well, gosh darn it, Clara, quit working so fast.
I did, me too.
Okay, so this is kind of going on at an angle. And I can reposition this. That's kind of awesome. Okay, so we're going to go like this. There we go. Okay, so we're doing the same kind of thing. This is that foil adhesive, so it's not squishy. And it's not going to soak into the fabric, but I still am going to seal this, more than likely. So I'm just rubbing it. Oh, that's going to just barely fit on there. Oh, that's awesome. This is just scrap fabric that I had. So, you know, when you're crafting and when you're creating, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy all new stuff. Just, you know, I got
you got it. You got it.
Exactly. Just do what you can. Have fun with it. Create. You know, some of the best recipes I have are like 4 ingredients, and I always have them on hand. Like French bread. French bread. All it is flour, water, salt, and yeast. Boom, you got French bread. Okay, so this might be a little bit more of a challenge because she's got her hairdryer out.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Where did I put my knife? There it is. Well, hello, Jody. Good to see you. Who else? Virginia is here. I'm seeing who else has joined us. Okay, this phone holder is great. Oh, and Darth has joined us too. Hail, Darth. Okay, so we're gonna cut right here. I don't care if it goes all the way to the bottom.
Hail Darth.
Hail, Darth.
I've always wanted to ask you about that. What?
That's kind of it's from back when on Trey's channel.
Uh-huh.
It's just kind of, yeah, back in the day, from back in the day.
Something
Back
stuff.
when, yeah. So, okay, I need to cut this.
Yeah,
this fabric doesn't.
we're wrapping fabric on a tumbler. So this is
Yeah,
like the early not so pretty stages.
yeah. This is the high maintenance part.
Labor intensive, make it work. By golly.
Gosh darn it. Okay.
And this is helping actually.
Okay, why is this? That's why. Okay, I'm trying to work in camera. I'm sorry, guys.
No. See down. See down. Yep.
All right, damn it. Fabric doesn't like this. Fabric doesn't like me.
I'm having this thing. I go to push down something and it comes up more, and it's like, no, not that way.
Dang it.
Squawk.
Quit being obtuse. Okay. So I don't suggest using the tack it method with stretchy fabric. That's going to be my 2 cents.
Maybe we should have swapped over and kept it glued.
So, yeah. I think I might just, since I have Mod Podge out, I might just put Mod Podge on top of this fabric. It's got a really cool texture to it. And I might put the ribbon on there right away too. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like.
Okay.
Let's cut this bottom off.
So, do you want to finish up the any additional layers of Mod Podge and do a resin coat, or not do resin coat? What next time?
Well, do we want to finish these on a live stream? Do we want to just do the coat of resin and then do our glitter and any vinyl transfers or tattoos or whatever we're planning on putting on these? Do you want to do it that way and do it on another live stream?
Yeah, let's do it. Because what I'm kind of looking at doing is putting a really thin coat of resin and attacking it with glitter in areas,
right?
But not all the areas,
right?
So yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Not next Thursday, but the Thursday after.
Yeah, I think that's
whatever
a good
date
idea.
that is. I don't know. I don't even know what date is today.
Thursday.
I think it's the 15th.
Yeah, it's the 15th.
It's Thursday.
I was being smart opinion.
You know what? You want to hear a little bit of trivia about Tish? Yesterday would have been my wedding anniversary with my ex-husband.
Happy anniversary? Question mark?
And then next month in June is the anniversary of our divorce. I know that sounds very.
You've not gone to the twisted side. Doris asks, would a spray adhesive work too? Yes, it would definitely work as far as adhering, but you want to seal your fabric because the resin will go in and make the fabric darker and make it look like the fabric's wet, or as some people call it, an oil slick to it. So yeah, you definitely want to seal it with some kind of Mod Podge or sealant.
Okay.
So Sarah, it doesn't matter what kind of fabric you use. But keep in mind, some fabrics will give you a hard time. I use the cotton quilt fabric, which doesn't have a whole lot of stretch to it. Like
Yeah, and
this
yours is
way
a
doesn't
lot
stretch.
thicker than
This one
mine.
doesn't stretch. The diagonal will, but my
Yeah, the
cups are
bias
not
will.
straight. They have a slight taper to it, so I'm getting the wrinkles up towards the top. And there's nothing I can do about it because it doesn't give that much. Your stretchier fabrics, kind of like a t-shirt fabric, jerseys, I think is what they're called. They probably would work the best, but I mean,
I know
if you're gonna
Brenda
do
was
some
using lycra.
micro,
Brenda was using lycra, like swimsuit material last night.
oh, that's definitely stretchy.
Yeah. She got some mermaid fabric last night. She had some and was using it last night on Artpalooza.
Oh dear,
So, yeah, it was really pretty.
is that the stuff with the scales and it's kind of shimmery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's fun. What?
She's like, "Oh, that's fun."
It is fun. I
She's
saw, I
like,
saw, I saw somebody have leggings made out of that material, and I always thought it's like, oh, I've been trying to find them for Erica, as far as a
yeah.
a goodie kind of thing, because she would wear the crap out of those. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, no luck, no lucky
Yeah,
so far.
she's um uh Brenda said she got hers at Hobby Lobby.
Oh really? Well, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sew them into leggings. She wouldn't want that because I can't sew clothing to save myself. I can do the crap out of quilting, but yeah,
Not so much the
yeah,
not
not
so
so
much the
much the
sewing.
particulars.
Yeah, see, I
So
can. I used to be able to anyways.
really?
I used to do costuming, but I gave that up because it's more frustration. It was causing me to lose my hair. Like literally, I would pull my hair out because I'd cry because I'd find a mistake and I'd have to rip it all. I'm too much of a perfectionist, is my problem.
Uh-huh.
And I would spend hours, assembling something and then another 6 hours disassembling it so I can fix one tiny issue. And yeah, it was not
Oh,
good.
quilting might make you mad then.
Yeah, see, that's why I stayed away from quilting. That's why I stay away from counter cross stitches. It's no, I'm too much of a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will let the people that like that tedious work. I'll let them do it. I have no interest
No desire
anymore.
whatsoever. Yeah.
No, you
Then I.
guys can keep it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm putting another coat of Mod Podge on here. And yes, I did cut the bottom off, which I'm not real happy with. And then I'm leaving the top on because it's keeping up. I'm trying to cut it, but it's wanting to pull up. So I'm going to put another coat. I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on here and let it sit and dry. I think what I'll do for the next live, because I bought a bunch of these cups. And what I'll do for the next live is I'll do another experiment because that spray adhesive idea that got me thinking. I've got some spray adhesive here, and I will try it out and let you guys know. So because ATD does it and I do it. I test so you don't have to. So I've been watching a lot of ATD lately. I don't know why. Probably
I
because I
don't
love
mind.
Eric. But well, and they'll go live and I'll just have them on. I won't say anything in chat. I'll just kind of lurk.
Oh, you're a
Uh,
lurker, huh?
yeah, just because I'm busy with stuff
Mm-hmm.
and
I can understand that.
I just want to hear what they're saying and see what they're doing. Like, like doing stuff like this where I got to have my hands free,
Mm-hmm.
or my hands are otherwise occupied. So, um, but yeah, I'm excited to try some new stuff. So, how long do you think we should let these dry, Miss Clara?
Well, I've been doing the blow dry on this one, and then I'm putting on another coat just like you are. So
Okay.
I think in between coats, I think you just need it dried to the touch. But to dry completely before the resin, I would definitely let it dry at least 24 hours. That's just my
Okay.
go-to. You know,
Okay.
if I need to wait for something to dry, it's just that, you know, trying to get to that hard crusty stage of dry instead of it being soft and malleable and maybe causing reactions.
Right. Okay, so I'm just taking my finger because it's starting to lift right here. And I think that's just me applying the adhesive, not the adhesive's fault. I just don't think I applied it as good as I could have. So I'm just making sure that it's down.
And anywhere where it looks like it's bumping, I just make sure I kind of shove Mod Podge underneath the little bumps. So it's in there and it's sealed under there too. So I don't have any oil slick
I
things
think I'm just
happening.
going to do, for these cups, I'm going to try an experiment. I'm only going to do the 1 layer Mod Podge.
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
to let this dry. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to take, because spray paint is easier for me, I'm going to take a clear coat and just put a clear coat on it.
That's a good idea.
And just see if that helps, if that's something that we can do. Because Mod Podge, I think, I don't know, it's been a long time since I bought it, but I mean, a can of spray paint seems to me to be a lot cheaper than Mod Podge. And if you're putting, 15 layers of Mod Podge on there, and I think it would just be easier to do the spray paint too. But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, it also depends on how many cups you're doing too.
Yeah.
A couple of cups, I'm not too worried about it. Yeah.
But if you're making 10 cups,
That is true.
So I'm going to let this dry. And then I'll come back and I'll cut the fabric off after it's dry. And then both of these I'll just put, because I already put that Mod Podge on there. And then I'll just put 2 coats of clear coat. I'm just going to use my standby Rust-Oleum 2X matte finish. That's
Hey,
like my standby.
Tish, on a wild whim, do you want me to whip out
Yes.
my dragon quilt? That's a
Yes.
yes. That was a yes. Inhale of all the air there. Okay, let me get up. Uh-oh, here comes Mikey. Let's see.
Wondering if you could cut a round for bottom, apply it first, and then put on the side. Would it lay flatter? I don't know. I do know that on one of the videos that I watched, she put the fabric underneath and then cut out a circle to put on the bottom, like so the circle was on top of the sides. Um, I figured that would just be more thick and more lumpy, but her bottoms were flat. Mine are, her bottoms were more like this, where they're a little bit more flat. Mine
My
have
my
a weird.
bottom's rounded. I'll just leave that.
That's
I'll
what
just
she
leave that
said.
there.
You
All
can
right.
try it. I mean,
Yep.
for me, as long as the bottoms match the fabric, I'm just going to cut the fabric off.
Tish, I kind of
Um,
took over your video. Sorry.
oh, it's okay. Oh,
No,
look at that.
we did it on a big tie-dye background. So I kind of got to get in closer so that you can see what's going on.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh, the detail in all of that. And that's a quilt, y'all. That's a quilt.
Yep. Yes, it is. And if you notice, there's some shiny scales on there occasionally. Those are made out of resin.
You never cease to amaze. You always amazing me. Always amazing me, Clara.
So this one was called Dragon Sisters.
That's awesome.
All right, pick this guy up so the donkey doesn't walk on it. But see,
Yeah, no.
here's the back.
We love Zoe. We love Zoe, but no, doggies can't be walking on it.
So there's all the stitching on the back.
That's so cool.
We had a lot of fun with this.
There is no way you'd get me to do that, though. No way. Unless you paid me like $1 million, then I would.
You pay me $1 million to do another one.
I can't even. I can't even. No. Good morning, Connie. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, everybody. If we didn't say hi to you before, let's say hi again.
Yes.
Hey,
So we're both at a stage where we have to wait for stuff to dry.
Yep.
So next Thursday, not next Thursday, the Thursday after, which is like, I'm looking at my calendar. I'm squinting at my calendar. Will be the 29th of April. That is when we will be back Thursday morning at 9:30 Central Daylight Time. I'll get that right eventually, and then the time change will happen again. But and then we're going to be adding some embellishments, whether it's glitter, whether it's a vinyl cutout or a temporary tattoo. We'll be adding embellishments and resin and all the things to make these tumblers just next level. So you could very easily just leave it like this, or put a vinyl on it, vinyl thing, and then epoxy them and call it good.
Yep.
But Clara and I are a little bit crazy, and
we're gonna go to the next step.
we go a little over the top sometimes, but that's when you're with the right people, is when that they go over the top too. So yeah. I gotta find my lid for this.
Sarah, that quilt, it's a whole cloth quilt, so it's just one large piece of fabric, and we painted it and embellished it and stitched the tar out of it, so it's quilted heavily. But yeah, it's not a pieced quilt. It's a whole cloth quilt.
Yeah, and it's amazing and stunning, and I'd be happy with like a little.
Elisa stepped in.
Well, hello, Elisa.
Everybody's name is being stretched out and modified.
Absolutely. Just, you can call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dessert. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you. And Clara, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with me here. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys for hanging out.
Absolutely. And make sure to join us tomorrow night for Friday Night Flip Cup. And if you have not done the challenge yet, the colors are in the community tab. Make sure to get that out there and be part of our weekly challenge. We are having the challenge next week too, though. So I have colors ready to go for next week. I'll be doing my own video for next week and everything. So, and I'll still be doing a compilation video. So get your pictures on the Facebook group. If you're not on the Facebook group, get over there to the Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, I don't know what to tell you. There's Zoe. Bye, Zoe. Have a great day, y'all. Remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.
There ya.